Hello and welcome to the World Book Tag. This book tag was created by TheBookJazz, and I will leave a link to her original video in the down bar. There is a point system involved in this tag, and it is also explained in the down bar, so check it out. The idea behind this is you choose a book that is either set on each continent or is by an author from each continent and share it. I'm going to start with North America since that's where I'm from, and I had a plethora of books to choose from for this one. I went ahead and went with Making Faces by Amy Harmon. This book is set in a small town in Pennsylvania. There's a beautiful love story in the book, but the book centers around a town, and by the end of the book you feel like you could be from there, that you know all the characters, and just she takes you to these wonderful scenes in just the everyday places of a small town and talks about how big events affect the small town. It's a beautiful story. I think this book is way underrated and deserves a lot more hype, so check it out if it sounds interesting at all. Next up is South America, and I was very surprised to find I had not read anything about South America or by a South American author. So I made it a mission to go and find a book, and I found The Queen of Water. Boy, am I glad I did. It's written by Laura Riesau, and it's co-authored by the lady that the story is based on. It is based on her true story. Her name is Virginia, and she is a very young girl in the beginning of the story from Ecuador, and her family is extremely poor. I thought the book did a great job of highlighting what life is like in Ecuador, especially comparing the life of the indigenous people to the life of the Spanish descendants who came into the area, and just such a brave story, such an inspirational story. I highly recommend you check it out. For Europe, I chose The Book Thief, which I'm sure you are familiar with. If not, it is set in Germany during World War II and just highlights what a bum deal that war was for everyone all around. Beautiful, beautiful story. For Asia, I chose the story Climbing the Stairs by Padma Venkatraman. This is a lovely story about a young lady. It's set, I believe, in the mid-1900s in India, and it just really highlighted the culture and customs in India, especially around a lot of the holidays that they have and what you can and can't do during the holidays due to customs and marriage arrangements and how education is viewed for women. And it's a beautiful story to boot. So again, check it out, Climbing the Stairs. The next continent on our whirlwind tour is Antarctica, and I will be the first to admit I am reaching on this one and I'm not giving myself a point. So for this, I went with Vortex by S.J. Kincaid, and this is the second book in the Insignia trilogy. I found out about this trilogy from watching BriBookReviews channels, and I will leave a link to her channel below. It is a wonderful YA sci-fi action-packed series. The characters are great. The world building is great. The suspense is great. I love this series, can you tell? There will be a third book coming out. There is a novella out that I need to read. But in the book, there is one fairly minor scene that is set in Antarctica, and one character in the book is locked outside, and just the way the harsh conditions are described in that brief moment, and oh my gosh, just very intense scene. So that's why I chose this book for Antarctica. For Africa, I chose the novel Listening for Lions, and this is a middle grade novel. It is about a young lady from Britain in 1918, but her family is running a medical clinic in Africa. She all of a sudden becomes orphaned, and the story follows her from there. But the love of Africa and the description of the conditions there are very lovely. It's a very touching story, and I highly recommend it. My choice for Australia was a no-brainer. I chose the story Stolen by Lucy Christopher. This is a story about a young lady who is in her teens, I believe 17, and she is kidnapped and taken to Australia. And the description of the place she is taken is just so barren and desolate and so uninhabited, and it just really left an impression on me, as did this book. This book really messed with me, especially the ending, and I struggled to process it all and decide how I felt about it. And that is Australia, folks. Thanks for watching my World Book Tag. I hope you discovered a book you hadn't heard of before, or gushed over one that you enjoyed as well. If you would like to be tagged in this video, just leave a comment below and I will tag you. Thanks for watching. Happy reading.